back to the Investing Bros. I'm T Shroom, and we are absolutely raging today. Let's go check out the crypto bubbles right off the rip. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than this. Double-digit gains for what, 50% of the screen here? It is an absolute moonshot. Going higher here. Bonk up 30%. Lido up 35%. Uniswap up 23%. Beam up 14%. Optimism getting a 15% bid there. Tau BitTensor up 17%. Pepe up 30%. Look at that. That just doesn't stop. Ethereum. Maybe you've heard of Ethereum. That one's up 22%. There might be something going a little bit haywire here with crypto bubbles, but it is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Double-digit gains for lots of your favorite cryptos. We're going to be getting into some breaking news here on the Investing Bros, and we're going to break down what the heck happened yesterday with the Ethereum ETFs. We're going to get down and talk about what is next. We're going to look at the charts, and it's going to be a ton of fun. Today's episode is brought to you by who we trust, which is iTrustCapital for your crypto tax-advantaged accounts. Check out the link in the description for your free $100 when you sign up for iTrustCapital. Again, that's with the link in the description. There's not a better chart than this, in my opinion. There's a lot that are going higher, but this is Bitcoin to gold, bros. We talked about this last week, all in my lead up to the bachelor party, which was a smash. It was a raging success. Had a lot of fun. Got to see Messi play live. But you're not here to hear about my bachelor party. You're here to see the Bitcoin to gold chart. Look at that. It has broken through this downtrending line of resistance and is just shooting also very, very high, also much higher. We could come into some resistance here at 31. Some breaker blocks there from LuxAlgo. But what we did get was a buy rating here on the current candlestick, as this is now breaking outside of what the algorithm thought would be possible. So this is absolutely a time to buy as it is kind of moving higher according to LuxAlgo. Now, we like to look at confluence. We don't just take one buy rating here and buy it. No, we've got to make sure that there's other bullishness going on, but this is the Bitcoin to gold chart, and we're not really super concerned about buying based off of this chart necessarily. This is just an overview of how good it is to be holding Bitcoin. Let's look at the weekly chart of this. Zooming out, you can see that Bitcoin has dominated gold even through the very doldrums of the bull market. This uptrend started, intensified, and then we gave a lot back. Bitcoin gave a lot back to gold, and now we're starting to retrace those losses and move back up higher. So I wanted to bring that to y'all's attention because that's the Bitcoin to gold chart. That's probably not what everybody's going to be looking at today, but we were tracking it, and it is getting a good, sturdy, strong, and vigorous breakout. It is nice to see. Let's go to the Ethereum charts, the one that is absolutely getting everybody freaked out. Now you're looking at this chart, you're like, look at that level there, T-Shroom. This is going to be a key level. We're going to come back to this and look at it. This is 3,643. So this is a big level. Why? On the weekly chart, you can see why. These were the candlestick closes back here for the week of March 18th, March 25th, April 1st. But if you actually go to the monthly chart as well, this level was the monthly open for April, and it was the monthly close for March. Okay, so I believe that this is a very important level that investors are going to be absolutely paying attention to. And if we go to the 4-hour, you can, well, I guess I must have been looking at it lower time frame. Yeah, you can see that this really has provided a significant level of support. As we've looked down, I'm on the 1 hour here, but as you can see, this has kind of been the very important support. Now for Ethereum, we've gotten up to 3,800, right? And the live price here for Ethereum is 3,784. So very, very bullish. Going back out to the 4-hour here and throwing on LuxAlgo. So since this buy rating back here from LuxAlgo, you would be up quite a bit, pretty penny. You'd be up 30% here if you bought that from LuxAlgo. The link is in the description for LuxAlgo. It's the proprietary trading indicator that we use. We're partnered with, and you support the channel. You also get access to our trading V.I.P channel on Discord when you sign up for Lux, and a lot of people are loving it. We're getting the most signups for LuxAlgo and our VIP trading channel on Discord than we ever have. Right now, people are absolutely loving it, and Tim is having a ton of fun in there, showing everybody to trade. And I even took a trade yesterday. I went long Caspa before any of this stuff kind of took off. Now it maybe wasn't the one that I that did the best. It definitely did not perform very well because it doesn't have a strong beta with Ethereum. But I did make a nice little, I think it was like 20% because I was using some leverage with Blofin. But in any case, trading's fun, and you can get LuxAlgo, and it'll increase your trading game. #1 trading indicator out there, and you can also get access to the trading VIP group when you go ahead and sign up. Link is in the description. Guys, we're here. We're loving it. We're not only trading above 3,000 for Ethereum, we're trading above 3,500 for Ethereum. Can you believe it? It is just a whole nother world that it seems like we're living in all of a sudden. And it's all due to some very big news that we'll get to here in just a second. Let's go ahead and jump into the Bitcoin charts and take a look at those bad boys. And oh my gosh, it is just as bullish. It is just as bullish. Take a gander at this bad boy here. Let's scroll through. Moho said, "Afternoon, bros. Hope you had a blast, T-Shroom." Moho, good to hear from you. It's definitely not afternoon where I am here in North Central Florida, but Florida, USA. But it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? It's afternoon somewhere. Let's see. Joe Foster Crypto said, "Yo, good morning, people. Good morning." All right. Win 1995 Dodge minivan. I like that, Kid Coman. That is a funny reference right there. Because usually it's Win Lambo. Kid Coman said win 1995 Dodge minivan. That's good stuff. Crux of Crypto said, T-Shroom needs another bachelor party next weekend. Best breakout indicator. Let's go. That's true. Army Piper in the chat said, "Good morning, T-Shroom. Good morning, Army Piper. Well, I do have a honeymoon coming up. That'll be June 6th, and that'll be another bachelor party like situation where I leave my city for a little while, and then I'll be coming back. Did you stay hydrated during your bachelor party? I absolutely did. I anointed a hydration czar that was responsible for keeping me hydrated the whole time. It was my good bro, Trev. Maybe one day bring Trev onto the show. But yes, I absolutely stay hydrated because hydration is key. Shroomy is back at 9 a.m. Let's go. Absolutely. And we've got some juicy news to get into today. You don't want to miss it. If you're liking the video so far, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. Consider subscribing. We are almost to 18,000 subscribers. Closing in on that big 20,000 mark, and it's all thanks to you all, bros. The Kid Coman said, "Win 1995 Toyota Tercel." That is great. Kid Coman is dropping the heat. We are investing, bros. Indeed. We are. So Protect Me is just getting amped for the outro, where there is all kinds of fun to be had. Sativio Shramoto jumping in here, dropping the hay. And Kyle Fields saying, "Yo, all right, that is going to do it for the chat." We'll circle back here on the chat. So let me know if you guys have any questions for me. Maybe it's about Bitcoin, maybe it's about crypto, maybe it's about old Gary Gensler, or maybe it's just a question about my bachelor party. Let me know. What do you guys have any questions for me? I'll try to answer them towards the end of the show. But let's jump back onto the charts here. It is a little bit after 9 o'clock. Let's take a look at what the charts have to say. So taking a look at here, Bitcoin. You can see that we were consolidating here in this, what I would consider to be a pennant, but at least a downtrending line of resistance. This was able to break out here back on May 17th, trade sideways before it had a little tank ski, a little dump ski, a retest here, and a confirmation of support, flipping this downtrending line of support into support around $66,000 even. Right? And then from there, it was just an explosion higher as Bitcoin really got a bid. Now, why did this happen? Because it was finally a really good breakout, price exploration to the upside, got that through the platinum pocket, right? The platinum pocket was breached here, price-wise. Did not get a candlestick close even on the 4-hour. I'm on the 4-hour here. right? But then we came back and retested here, and this is where investors said, ooh, if we can get through the platinum pocket, then that means we're ready to go higher. The bottoms are in. Now, what do? You don't just buy immediately with 100% of your bag. You wait. And they waited for the quick 2% pop, found support here, confirmed support here, and then, the rest is history. So this has been a really nice weekend trade. If you were looking at this towards the end of the week last week or over the weekend, you have been rewarded for tracking this formation, this very classic breakout of downtrending line of resistance, flipped into support, and off to the races. And it looks like we're doing it again. It kind of does, right? So I'm on the 4-hour here, so I'm getting a little bit more zoomed in than maybe folks who might be using just the weekly or the daily charts. But if I go ahead and draw these lines, I mean, you are starting to kind of see a bit of a formation start here as Bitcoin begins to consolidate at $71,000 per coin. Now, you could come up here and you could draw on the wick. You could draw it wick to wick, which might be a little more appropriate, to be honest with you. There you go. That's a flaggy. That's looking good. Yeah. So consolidation, taking a little bit of a breather after this big move higher. There's also the question of what is next. What comes next? I think it's very uncertain. I'm going to pop open the Bollinger Bands just to illustrate this. I'll kill my fib just to clean it up. So here's the reality, bros, is that right now there's a lot of uncertainty, and that uncertainty is indicated here by these very wide Bollinger Bands. The realm of possibility has been greatly expanded by the last 24 hours, the news events, which we're going to get to in just a couple seconds on the other side of the breaking news. But ultimately, from a technical analysis standpoint, of course, I'm thinking pullback. We've just gone much higher, right? Are we going to get a pullback, retest, and confirm some support? Right now, as you can see, there is some support, right? Maybe coming back to the midline of the Bollinger Band, but I'm actually going to zoom out to the 1 day and see if we can't pull something out here. What I do notice is that there is this level here that I had drawn that was at 70,000. So that could potentially be a good psychological number back at 70,000. I don't remember if that correlates with the monthly candlesticks, but it probably does, knowing me. But we could easily come back, I think, and come back and test 64,008. This has been a pretty important level, and I think coming back down and testing that would be somewhat realistic. Now you're hearing me, no, T-Shroom, it's a bullish day. Don't talk about pullbacks. Don't talk about lower levels. Well, that'll be the last I talk about it then. There you go. And if we go lower, you can't say that I didn't say anything, right? No, I don't. I don't. But that's the thing, is like what I'm trying to illustrate is the possibilities are endless right now. We could come back and test lower levels, but I think the market today, there's just as good of a chance, if not a better chance, that the market just keeps on pumping, especially Bitcoin. Now, that's for a variety of reasons, and I think that goes ahead, and that probably brings us into the breaking news. Let's go ahead. I do want to jump and look really quickly at these monthly closes. Yeah, so this did not... okay, so this level here, this 64,008, this one correlated here with this wick high from April 2021. This other level here that I like, that we may never get back down to again, 61,003, that correlated with these candle closes back here in November of 2021, and generally the wick close back here. So those are levels that I'm watching from the monthly standpoint, just off the monthly wicks. But if we throw the fib on, the big fib, you can see that we are now back in the platinum pocket. And I'm on the monthly chart. I might as well just stay back here because I want to tell the story really quick of the fib story. So the bears did all they could do to try to get Bitcoin to come back into the golden pocket after we had penetrated through it to the upside. But what ended up happening is we did not close a candlestick here on the monthly charts. right? We just kept pumping higher. Now, we did lose these levels here of 61,004, right? That would have been nice to hold on to. But we went ahead and we invalidated that level. Well, it didn't invalidate it, but we lost that level all the way back in March. So we lost it there. We lost it back here in April and then in May. But right now, we are closing back in the platinum pocket. And we have plenty of time here, 10 days, to be able to close higher and engulf this red candle before it. So there's tons of bullish potential here. I'm out on the monthly, which is probably not where most traders are looking today, but I just wanted to give you all some context. Again, bros, I think that there's as good of a chance that we break up to the upside out of this kind of consolidated flagging here that's going on as that we come back down and test. But the next level, for my eyes, is probably going to be that 67.4 level. That is the bottom of the platinum pocket, that 0.786. And big shout out to Piper, who helped me put up this big fib that I've got going on here, this Fibonacci. I believe it's the trend-based Fibonacci extension is what this one is. How to draw it will be for another day. Let's get into the breaking news. On the other side of the crypto bubbles, look how beautiful that is. Double-digit gains for so many. It is awesome. And if you go by market cap, it is just out of control. It is just insane. So very exciting there. All right, let's jump into it. So breaking news, SEC asks the NASDAQ and the COBE to update spot Ethereum ETF filings. Reuters reports. So very exciting. SEC is essentially cracking the whip saying, we're doing a 360. We don't know what the heck is going on. We're doing a 180, I should say. And we're pulling our hair out over here at the SEC, but we're going to make everybody work late and get these spot ETFs approved and integrated. So it's pretty wild. More breaking news. Standard Chartered Bank says it expects SEC to approve spot Ethereum ETF this week. And I believe you got to hand it to them. Standard Chartered, I think, said that I think they took it back like last week or a week before. But they were saying for a long time that these ETFs would be passed. And to be clear, let me make it clear, the ETFs have not been accepted yet, right? There's just momentum in the direction that they could be. Another headline to note here, Democrat House leadership says crypto bill vote won't be whipped. What does that mean? In America, there's positions within the Congress and the Senate, they're whips, right? And they basically whip all the voters into shape. They whip them in, tell them how they should vote, right? And they give them consequences if they don't vote that way. House Financial Services Committee ranking member Maxine Waters, Democrat of California, and House Ag Committee ranking member David Scott, Democrat of Georgia, and leading Democrats on their respective committees have sent an email to Democratic members of the House of Representatives saying they strongly oppose Bill H.R. 4763, the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, but are not whipping their members against the bill, Politico reports. Okay, so they're coming out against it. They're coming out against legislation that has been that is seen to be pro-crypto, providing regulatory clarity, and they're saying that they're coming out against it, but they're not going to whip. They're not going to whip fellow Democrats to not vote for it. So this is generally bullish, right? Generally very, very bullish. Of course, kind of expected the Democrats to come against it, and it looks like the more extreme Democrats are probably going to vote against it, but they're not going to whip their colleagues, meaning they're not going to stand up huge consequences if they vote for it, right? So that's going to be bullish. FIT 21, the bill in question, is supported by a coalition of digital asset organizations, companies including Coinbase, Kraken, Andreessen Horowitz, and 50 others, right? So this is a big bill, right? It could potentially provide lots of regulatory clarity. I don't know that it's as comprehensive as the MiCA bill from the EU, but it's kind of similar. Let's see. Now, T-Shroom, what the heck is going on? You've gone the whole show. I've liked, I've subscribed, I've smashed the like button, I've even hit the notification bell, but I still don't know. Why are prices pumping to the upside? What the heck is going on? Should I be buying? Should I be selling? Should I be holding? Should I be digging a bunker? What should I do? Well, this was the tweet we got yesterday from Eric Balconis that sent the poly markets, it sent the betting markets for is Ethereum going to be approved in a spot ETF form from 17%, we watched it live, to 50%. It just skyrocketed. And it was mainly because of this tweet. James Seyfried and I are increasing our odds of the spot Ethereum ETF approval to 75%, up from 25%. Hearing chatter this afternoon that the SEC could be doing a 180 on this increasingly political issue. So now everyone's scrambling. Like us, everyone else assumed they'd be denied. And then he says to see Nate's tweet below that kind of talks about this. So essentially, the SEC is scrambling to make this happen. Reporters are scrambling. And now the issuers are going to have to scramble to get their amendments in. And it looks like it's going to be coming down to staking. We'll get to that in just a second. But these are the issuers, right? These are the big bosses on Wall Street who are putting pressure, have been putting pressure on the SEC, saying, what the heck? We've filed for these ETFs. And in the case of BlackRock, we've never had an ETF denied except for once. But they have like a 99% approval rate. What the heck? You know, Gary Gensler, do you want your job? Do you want to ever be considered for the Secretary of Treasury job that Janet Yellen holds? Well, you better approve this ETF. And so, of course, I'm not in the room. I didn't know that that's exactly what they were saying. But these are the issuers. Van Eyck, 21 shares, Hashdex, Grayscale, Invesco, and these are the bigger Wall Street names, Invesco, Fidelity, BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, and Van Eck. Right? So those are the names that are putting pressure on the SEC, saying, yo, we got to make this happen here. But according to Eric Balconis' tweet, it's not just the Wall Street and the ones with capital interests in this. Eric Balconis, I believe, nudges a bit to what could be happening here below the levels that are available to the public, which increasingly political issue. Now, I said live yesterday when Tim and I were covering this, when it had just broken, that I wonder if this is a result of Biden and his aides figuring out, hey, I think I made a mistake by coming out and being anti-crypto. I have my reasons for being anti-crypto, but ultimately I will compromise and be pro-crypto because Trump has come out very, very pro-crypto in the last 2 weeks, and that has done well for his polling numbers. So I think that this, if I'm reading too much into this, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Am I reading too much into this? But he's saying increasingly political issue. We are in an election year, and there are people who have real votes, and a lot of those people own Bitcoin, and they own Ethereum, and they own exposure to other risk assets that they'd like to see go to the upside, not to the downside, just because of some runaway SEC and some runaway ideologue in the White House. So could this be a result of the White House kind of changing their position for the 2024 campaign? It could be, especially when you read this headline here, the Democrats are not whipping other Democrats. And this isn't a physical, it's not a threat, there's no abuse going on here. They're just meaning telling them to get in line, telling them to vote a certain way, or there'll be consequences, right? This is just, this is a bullish headline because Democrats are not doing this. They're still opposing it, the most extreme, the leadership of the Democratic Party, but they're not requiring their junior constituents to go ahead and vote for, or vote against the bill, I should say. And all roads here are kind of leading back to the White House, kind of leading back to the 2024 campaign, which shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't have much to do with crypto because crypto doesn't have anything to do with the White House, right? But that is the way it looks like it's shaking out to me. So those are a couple of different reasons why, because it's political, right? And because it's the last minute. A couple of reasons why the markets are moving so quickly to the upside is just because there's a lot of panic to reprice the markets. And because it does look like this is coming from the top of the decision-making apparatus here in the United States, known as the executive branch. But Eric Balconis this morning has provided a bit more clarity. He said, for anyone wondering why our odds were low up until yesterday, we see below. This was a shock, a holy crap moment yesterday, even for people inside the process. That said, props to James Seyfried for convincing me to stick with a 25% floor as I wanted to go lower. That's how deafening the silence was from the SEC and how bleak the chatter was for this exact reason, to allow room for something unforecastable like this. And then Nick Carter said, how was anyone meant to predict that Trump would endorse crypto and Dems would throw up a Hail Mary and pivot? That wasn't forecastable, right? So it's not just me kind of reading into the political tea leaves of all this. It's also Nick Carter, who has no bio, unfortunately. But going over here, you can see that Fidelity modifies spot Ethereum ETF plans and opts out of staking. So Fidelity is really, in my opinion, maybe the tectonic plate that moved here, because it was the one that was willing to compromise not having staking as being a component of its ETF. So when we zoom out here, we ask, what do we do here? What is going on? Are markets going to pump higher? Are they going to pump lower as a result of this? Well, the approval day is going to be Thursday, I believe. So Thursday is when kind of the rubber meets the road. Is the SEC going to go ahead and approve these Ethereum ETFs or not? I believe into the day there will be volatility, but generally crypto prices will be higher then than they are today, as the market continues to kind of go through their balance sheet, go through their business, and say, how much more liquidity do we have to allocate into this? Because if it gets passed, then prices could go higher. There's also the question of, could this be a sell the news event? The Bitcoin ETF passage was a quick spike on the day to the upside, and then it was sell the news. But that had a lot to do with the fees over at GBTC, which complicate things overall. So T-Shroom, you just laid out a bunch of complicated questions. What's the answer? I think generally here, there is a huge unknown. There is big uncertainty, and there's a reason why. There is a reason why that James Safer and Eric Buchanan, the analysts over at Bloomberg, have given a 25% floor. So it's a 75. The odds are as high as 75%, but they're still leaving the floor at 25%. I don't know why. I don't know how that works, or why they're doing it that way instead of just saying a 51% chance, or just saying that it's higher than it was before. But ultimately, there is still a chance that Gary Gensler kind of pulls some kind of trick. Maybe not going ahead and denying the Ethereum ETFs altogether, but saying some combination of that or some version of that, and saying, okay, we'll approve the ETFs, but you can't integrate staking. And then the question becomes, okay, well, what do we do when we're seeding the funds with Ethereum? Are we not allowed to stake the Ethereum? In which case, it's antithetical to what the Ethereum ecosystem even is. So overall here, bros, I'm thinking we do continue to rally into the decision because of how bullish it is. I think that the percentages on the betting odds on Polymarket are going to continue to go up and to the right. However, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some kind of final hour freaky event that happens. Polymarket presently is saying 72% chance. Again, yesterday we were rocking out at 17. When I first looked at it, it was 17%. According to this, it was as low as what was the lowest here? It was as low as 10%. Goodness gracious. Just as recently as May 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. So, this is a moment where there's a lot of volatility, but there's a good chance that things could go very high, very quickly, as they already have. So, use good risk management. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. If you're using leverage, be extremely smart, and stay tuned to the Investing Bros. Stay tuned to, there's a lot of great spaces on X that I've been tuning into and listening as well. But we will absolutely, if you keep it locked here, if you subscribe and hit that notification bell, we will absolutely keep you up to date on what is going on in crypto that matters to you, and what you can and should do, or what you can and should consider doing, I should say, because none of this is financial advice. When I feel like it, asked, how does Bloomberg calculate the probability? How does it come up with these percentages? The same way that lawyers come up with, the probability of winning a case. There's so many variables that of course There's no way to give a precise, percentage likelihood. But, they just do. They come up with it, right? They do it based on their experience of seeing the ETF markets over probably 20 years or more as a combined experience of Eric Balconis and Jason Seyffert. Let's see. Here's the joke we've all been waiting for. When I feel like it said Gary's secretary is going to leak the approval from his X account again. Yeah, that would be really, really funny. Another SEC Twitter hack. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. My bias here, bros, is that I do think that we see prices go up. I think we see the ETF approved. It's going to probably have some stipulations of no staking, or there'll be some weird aspect around the staking, and investors may not be attracted to that because it may make more sense just to buy and hold Ethereum on Coinbase or on any place that you can stake the Ethereum, right? So that's going to be an important psychological moment, and I don't think that we'll get that fully priced in probably for a couple of weeks. Regardless of what the decision is. There will expect volatility into the decision on Thursday and expect volatility after the decision because there's going to be a lot of important details here that matter. The other important question is, where's this liquidity going to come from? Is it potentially going to be selling from the Bitcoin ETFs, selling out of other crypto assets to buy Ethereum? All of these questions are absolutely important to answer, and we're going to be breaking them down here at the 3 p.m. show. Make sure that you join us for 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be going live again and covering what I can only imagine is going to be a whole flurry of new updates that are going to absolutely rock your world. I did pick up a couple of altcoins yesterday. I picked up some more Injective and Tau. So BitTensor here, and I picked up Injective. I also picked up some Uniswap. I don't think that that's necessarily, Tim was trading Uniswap. I just picked it up because it's convenient to pick it up on Robinhood, and it is a beta with Ethereum. All right, bros, I'm going to go ahead and sign on off. But if you're human, make sure you're staying hydrated. And if you're trading today, keep those stop losses tight. We'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, baby. Buy low, sell high.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.
Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros.